Now we'll add a little bit more to this, so we'll bring one cloud image. So let's try for the cloud image, and let me choose one cloud image, let's say this one, and bring it over here, place it here, increase its size, press enter, change its layer blend mode to soft light, and lower down its opacity to something like that, so that we get little bit more depth in the image. Okay, and now we are going to add little bit stars to this image. So we'll create a new layer over here and fill it with the black color. Go to the filter, select noise and add noise, and increase the noise. Choose the noise as Gaussian and monochromatic, something like this, or yes, choose uniform. You can choose uniform as well and press OK. And then we need to press Ctrl L or Command L to open the levels command, and let's make them something like this, and this one as well. Increase it to this side, and let's try the setting. Press OK and change its layer blend mode to screen. Okay, and press Ctrl L once again, and this time we will play with the settings. Press OK. I think it's not working, so let's try different options. Alright, make it soft light, and we can lower down its opacity to something like this, and we get this kind of a result. And let's remove it from the face of the girl. So we'll create a layer mask, and this time with the soft as brush we are going to remove it from the face with the black color. Alright, so we get this kind of a result, and at the moment these birds are looking much sharper than they should be. So we'll come over here on the birds panel, and we'll select both of them and lower down their opacity. So let's say something like this. I think now they are looking good. And now let's add a little bit light on this side. So we'll come over here on the bottom above this color fill and create a new layer and change its layer blend mode to linear dodge, and let's select this orange color and paint here once, or let's say twice, and press Ctrl T or Command T and resize it to something like this. Place over here and come on the top, create one more layer, and this time we'll choose the little less orange. So we'll go for this one and paint here once, and change its layer blend mode to linear dodge. Press Ctrl T, Command T, and lower down its size and lower down the shining as well, so we get little bit shine on this side, and you can adjust its position as well. And we are going to as you can see, there is lots of grain on this image, so we'll lower down this texture to even further, so that it gets less grains, because too much grain does not look good and that would take away the quality from the image. So I think this one is fine. A little bit more particles to this, and for that purpose let me open my new background or new texture image. Where it is? Okay, this is snow overlay, and I'm going to place it over here and resize it to something like this. Press enter, and I'm going to create a black mask. So by pressing Alt I can click, and this is going to remove it from it, and take the brush tool, and with the 20% opacity I'm going to paint a little bit over here. So it is going to create this kind of a result. Alright, and now let me bring it down below the texture so that it gets a little bit more texture, and let's lower down its opacity because we don't want it to be visible that dark. A little bit more contrast to this image, so we'll come to the adjustment layer, select it, the curves adjustment, and we will create a dark or this kind of a shape, little s, so that we get some boost in the darkness and in the highlights as well, and we get some boost in the colors as well. Alright, and select the blue one and increase it in the background, or let's lower down it from the shadows, something like this. Add a little bit over here, and let's try red, and we are doing very subtle change. Okay, we don't want it to be drastic, so we are using very little changes. Okay, over here this is fine, and we can see the result by turning it on and off. And let's add a little bit more vignette effect to this, or leave it. It's not looking good. Now I have decided to use this dispersion effect differently. So I have just made this this girl copy dress or the layer, duplicate, and I have spreaded it all over using the liquify tool, and now I'm using the brush, different brush, and I'm going to paint it with the white color. All right, and I'm going to paint it this way, so these small dots are spread everywhere. Okay, so these small particles will make this look little awesome. Okay, because earlier the effect was not looking good, so I decided to go for this. And as you can see, now this one is looking much better than the earlier one. All right, and it happens that sometimes when we create some photo manipulation, we always need to give it some time and come after a short while and then look at your photo manipulation, because at that time we'll be able to know what are the problems in this and how we can improve that photo manipulation or composition. Okay, and now you can see that this one is looking much better, and now we are going to add something on her head. Okay, so that she looks little abstract. Okay, so for that purpose I will be coming on the top, and I will bring the tree layers or some 3D trees which I have created in Photoshop, So these are the trees. So this is the tree. I'm clicking and dragging it over here and press enter, and as you can see at the moment it's not visible, so I'll drag it up and let me delete all these layers which I have created, and let me Control T, rotate it and place it over her head, resize it to make it smaller and place it here, or right click and select flip vertical, and let me try to place it over here. Let's see how it looks. Yes, this one is looking little fine, and press enter, and now we'll create a layer mask over it, and we'll take the brush tool, and this time softest brush with 0 hardness, and with the black color I'm going to remove this trunk, and let me remove it from here as well. And if you want, you can reposition it, or you can press Ctrl T or Command T, right click and select warp and press. Okay, it's not going to work because layer mask is linked to this, as you can see. So we need to click on this link and it is going to unlink, and now we'll press Ctrl T or Command T, and now we'll select warp, and we can make it something like this. All right, and press enter, and we need to apply the layer mask. So we'll turn this back on and select this layer mask, choose the brush tool, and we are going to paint it over here, and we are going to create a duplicate copy of it by pressing Ctrl J or Command J, press V and move it over here, press Ctrl T. Again we need to unlink it and Ctrl T and resize it to make it look little better. Maybe over here, press enter, link back the layer mask and choose the brush tool, remove it from here, and you can see now this one is looking little different. Okay, and we need to add little bit over on this side as well because it's not looking good. So I'll press Ctrl J or Command J to duplicate it, choose the move tool and let's move it here. All right, and press enter and choose the layer mask, choose the brush tool and paint on this side because we don't want it to appear on this side. And we need to refine it little bit more. So for that purpose, what we can do, will create one more duplicate copy of it by pressing Ctrl J or Command J, unlink the mask and choose the move tool, and let's press Ctrl T, Command T and rotate it, and let's place it over here. Press enter and first delete this layer mask, we don't want that, and now we can see it where we want to position it. So we'll choose the move tool and lower down its opacity so that we can see properly, and let's place it over here. I think this will look good, and press enter and press Ctrl T to choose the warp tool, right click and select option warp, and now warp it. This one should go on this side, add this one here and press enter, increase back the opacity and create a layer mask, and now we need to refine it from here. So we'll choose the brush tool with the black color. We are going to paint it here. And if you want, you can paint with the white to make it visible once again. And here we need some other brush to create this kind of effect. So for that purpose, what we are going to do, we are going to select this brush, which is the chalk brush, and we'll go to the settings and choose the shape dynamics and choose the angle. Okay, so this way it is going to scatter all around, and now we can paint in with black color to get the result we want, or with white color if we want it to come back. And let's see how it looks, and we need to remove it from this side as well. And let's see, yes, this one is looking good. And let me paint in over here with white color. So this should look good. Okay, yes, now this one is looking good. Let me remove it from here. This one is not looking good. And let's see, yes, this one is looking good. And now we are going to use this a tree trunk, to place it over here to create the what you call it, some kind of a holder of this throne. So for that purpose, we'll create a new layer and we'll choose the pen tool, and we are going to create a path. Sorry, we need to select path from here. So we'll select path and we'll paint it, or we'll create a path something like that which covers her. Okay, and this one is fine. And then go to the filter, select render and select tree, and it is going to open up the tree dialog. And here we don't want the leaves, so we'll bring back the leaf sliders, so we'll get only these trunks, okay, or these branches. And if we don't want branches, we can adjust the branches, their thickness as well. Let there be more thickness, and let's try a different one and choose whichever is looking good. I think this one is going to look good. Pine tree one. This one is also looking good. I think I will go for the pine tree. Where is it? Oh, this one is also looking good. Yes. Let's go for this Populus nigra and press OK. And now we have got this over here, and come to the paths, deselect it, choose this one, and let's see how it looks. I think this is not looking that good, so we'll go back, create another layer, go to the path, select this path, and again path, go to the filter, select render and select tree, and let's do it once again. Let's say branches height. Okay, let the branches be everywhere, and branches thickness, let's increase those thickness, and press OK. Let's see how it one looks. Yes, this one is looking better, so I'll go for this one and place it over here, and this is called the border throne. Okay, delete the earlier layer, we don't need that. And then let's add the shadow under it, so we'll double click it and select drop shadows, and it is going to drop the shadows. And let's make the light direction to come from this side. Choose the distance, increase the opacity, something like this, and lower down the size, distance if we want, and press OK. And now let's create a layer mask over it, and let's refine it. So we'll choose the brush tool and we'll refine it little bit this way. And we need to remove this trunk tree from the previous layer. I think it was from this layer, so I'll select it and I'm going to remove it from here as well. And now this one is looking much better, and let's group them together and create a color grade them. So I'll group them together. I'm going to call it throne. Okay, and let me purge all my memories so that I can work efficiently. And now let's select a hue and saturation adjustment layer and bring down the lightness, and make sure you select this clip option, and that way it is going to affect only this throne. Okay, so let's lower down their light and saturation, and let's change its color to something which matches with the background, and we can see the difference. All right, and if you want, you can increase the lightness as well. Okay, and this one is looking good. Now you can see this is much better than the earlier one. Going to add some eyelashes on the eyes so that these eyes pop up a little bit. So we'll choose the brush tool, and for this purpose I'm going to use these eyelashes brushes which you can download over the internet. And let me lower down its size to something like this, and with black color I'm going to paint it. I'm going to create a new layer and paint it here once, and then I'll press Ctrl T or Command T and resize it, rotate it, place it over here, increase its zoom level and try to place it properly, and select warp and warp them properly on the eyes, and press enter and see the result, how this one looks, and this one looks much better. And please mind my cell phone ringtone, lots of messages are coming. And let's duplicate it by pressing Ctrl J, Command J, and choose the move tool, place it over here, Ctrl T, right click and select flip horizontal, and that way it would be on this side, and Let's rotate it once again, lower down its size and press enter and place them properly on the eyes, and choose the mask tool, choose the brush tool and select the softest brush and remove it from here, from the notch. Okay, I don't know how come this has come. I think this is from the tree. Yes, this is from the tree. So I'll create one layer mask, and with the black color I'm going to paint it over here, and let's see the result. Yes, this one is looking much better, but this has some dark color, dark red, so I'm going to call it eyelashes, and this one as well, eyelashes. I think this is called, these are called eyelashes. So I'll select both the layers and lower down their opacity so that it get mixed with the color. All right, and now this one is looking much better. And now let's enhance the eyes or make them a little scary. All right, for that purpose we'll create a new layer and we'll call it eye light, and change the layer blend mode to linear dodge. Okay, and choose the softest brush, and this time we'll choose, let's say, red color, and make it of this size and paint once, and it is going to add this red light on the eyes and over here as well. And let's change its layer blend mode to let's say overlay. Overlay is looking good, or you can try a different one like soft light, hard light. If you want them to look more dark or more light or more pop-up, then you can go for the hard light, or if you want you can lower down the opacity as well, because too much is not looking good. And if you want you can choose other color as well. So let's create a new adjustment layer of hue and saturation, and make sure it is clipped to the lower layer, eye lights, and then move this hue slider to get the kind of a result you want. So I can go for something like this. Would that look good? Yes, this one is looking good, but I need to lower down the opacity because I don't like that much effect over here. Yes, now this one is looking good. Okay, and let's add one what it is called, we call it tilak in Hindi. So we'll create a new layer, and this time we'll take the color from here. By pressing Alt we can take the sample from here, and we are going to paint it over here and change its layer blend mode to, let's say, overlay. Yes, overlay is looking good. Lower down its opacity if you want, and this one is looking good. What do you say? Yes, this one is looking good. And let's color her lips as well. So we'll create one new layer, and we'll choose I think this same color. Let's take this color and paint here on her lips. And you have to be careful while painting colors on the lips, and change its layer blend mode to, let's say, overlay or soft light. Yes, soft light is looking good. Soft light is looking good, or let's try a different one. Color, luminosity. I think this one soft light is looking much better, but let me try other one as well. Soft light is fine, so we'll go for the soft light. So we'll call it lipstick. Okay, and this one as tilak. I don't know what we call it in English. I think it's smear had something. I don't know exactly. And if you want to go little further, then create one more layer. Take the sample from this side and let's paint here this kind of a, okay, and change this layer blend mode to, let's say, overlay. Yes, overlay is looking good. And now it looks like that she is actually from some tribe. All right. Okay, and I feel that we have done it, or we have completed our photo manipulation. So finally we'll be doing the final sharpening to this image. So we'll press Ctrl Alt Shift E or Command Option Shift E to create a stamp copy of it, and then change this layer blend mode to linear light and go to the filter, select other and select high pass, and make sure you choose the radius around 1 or 1.5 and press OK, and zoom in to see the result. You can see now this has been sharpened way too much, but we don't want that much of sharpening. So we'll press Alt and click on the layer mask to remove it or create a black mask. And now we'll take the brush tool, which is the softest brush with zero hardness, and lower down the opacity to around 20%, and we will paint on the eyes, let's say, on the eyebrows, on the lips, on these lines, and on the throne or on the dress. And we are done. So let me show you full screen. This is what we have created out of a simple image, which was, let me show you, where is it? Okay, so this was our starting image and we have made it something like this. So thank you so much. I hope you have learned something useful from this tutorial. And if you like today's episode, please don't forget to hit the like button, and please do subscribe to my channel for more videos. And if you have any question, you can leave that in the comment section below. I would also request you to download the exercise files and follow along, and do share your work on my Facebook group, which is called the Lens of You. And if you want to support this channel, you can buy my pro tutorials with huge discount, and there is a link to that as well in the description section below. And if you want me to create a tutorial on particular subject or topic in Photoshop, then please leave your request in the comment section. Thank you so much. Bye bye. See you in the next episode.